India News. First, a look at the headlines. It's 22% negative growth in commercial tax. Treasury feels pinch of almost zero petroleum VAT. Tax recovery target may fall short by 550 crores. Watch Prudent's Treasury Panchanama. Former Environment and Forest Minister from the BJP, Vinay Tendulkar, tops the list of contestants for party's top state post. Sources say formal declaration after 16th. Sources say Tanaude also in race. No shortage of funds for state development, says Parrikar. Ridicules Congress claim of state's unstable financial position. And Ivola Marcelo wins Konkani section in Voice of Goa. Lucky Ali enthralls his fans with music and passionate singing. Now the news in detail. Though the Chief Minister claims that the commercial tax growth of 3%, it is actually negative and 22% below the target. After almost scrapping the petroleum VAT, the government has not yet been able to compensate the lost revenue through alternate revenue mobilization. The government has projected a commercial tax rise of 25% this financial year. But considering current negative growth of 22%, the tax recovery target will likely fall short by almost 550 crores at the financial year end. Watch Prudent's Treasury Panchanama.
Our growth is about 3% still, in spite of no diesel, no on tax म्हणता का 3% growth हा tax in spite of mining negativity. Overall growth is around 7%.
Despite mining closure, tax recovery is growing by almost 3%. That's what the Chief Minister Parrikar claims. Actually, it should have been 25% considering state budget projection. Tax growth is actually 22% negative. Have a look at the revenue from various state taxes. The trend of tax growth in past 3 to 4 years shows a 20% average annual growth. This time, the government has projected it to be 25% as estimated in the state budget. But whole arithmetic has collapsed after economic slowdown post-mining ban in the state. Situation has more worsened following a loss in the petroleum VAT worth 155 crores. Taken into account this petroleum VAT revenue loss of 10%, the actual commercial tax growth should be 35%, not 25% as considered by the government. Only the commercial tax revenue can touch a projected magic figure of 2,500 crores. Now have a look at the tax recovery till date. First half yearly tax growth is 3% on an average. The total commercial tax revenue in past 6 months is 1,125 crores. Last year it was 1,089 crores during the first half of fiscal. That means there is a net fall of 22% compared to the projection. If this trend continues, there will be a net shortfall of almost 550 crores in the tax revenue compared to the projected figure. That means a total tax recovery of 1,950 crores, a petroleum VAT of another 10% would have taken this figure to almost about 2,100 crores. Look at the tax recovery barring month of May, which shows a growth of 22%. The months like June, September and October are showing a negative growth and fall in tax recovery. September being worst with minus 10%. Look at this table. It shows percentage of quarterly tax recovery as compared to the total annual tax figure. Quarter of July to September adds up at least tax revenue of 21%. The maximum tax recovery is usually in the last quarter. and figure touches almost 30%. But look at the current trend. The recovery is almost 4% below the usual quarterly recovery. Government dropped the petroleum VAT to almost zero after the compensatory tax revenue could flow in from an alternate revenue mobilization. The treasury is feeling the pinch of this revenue. With the mining closure and economic slowdown, the situation is more worse. The story doesn't end with the fall in commercial tax. The second part of Treasury Panchanama will analyze the ripple effect of the slowdown on the overall annual budget, the debt burden and effect proposed schemes. Bureau Report, Prudent.
Former Environment and Forest Minister from the BJP, Vinay Tendulkar, tops the list of contestants for party's top state post. Sources say the organizational election process will be completed by 16th of November and party may declare Tendulkar as the successor for the State President Lakshmikant Parrikar. Sources say former MLA from Thivi, Sadanand Tanawade, is also in the race. Name of former MLA from Fatorda, Damu Naik, was also in the air for the top post. However, the contest seems to be over for Damu and Tanawade.
The tenure of state presidentship of Lakshmikant Parrikar ends this December. However, his successor to the top state post will be elected in November itself. Word is afloat that the top post might be awarded to the former Environment and Forest Minister. Following Vinay Tendulkar in the race is the former MLA from Thivi, Sadanand Tanawade. The points that are in favor of Tendulkar are: party loyalist, had quit the ministerial berth for BJP, senior state leader of BJP, major role in BJP's recent membership drive, good relationship with central BJP leaders, withdrew from race during assembly election. Apparently, the name of the former BJP MLA from Fatorda, Damu Naik, was also in the air for the state presidentship. But sources say Damu is already awarded with responsibilities of Ravindra Bhavan and Sura. Hence, he is almost out of the contestants list. All India election in charge of Bharatiya Janata Party will designate his election officer in Goa on 16th November to monitor the poll process. Following the election process, party may declare Vinay Tendulkar as the successor to Parrikar. BJP has already declared its district level presidents, Michael Lobo for North Goa and Subhash Phaldesai for South. With Bureau Inputs, Lokik Shilkar for Prudent.
Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar has said there will not be any shortage of funds for the development. He ridiculed the allegations of the Congress leaders who claim that financial position of the state is unstable. Parrikar is speaking at the inaugural of the traffic cell in Kalangut on Sunday.
Kalangut aims at being the best touristic place in the state. BJP MLA Michael Lobo has initiated developmental works in Kalangut with the help of the Panchayat. Traffic cell has been operational in Kalangut to regulate the traffic and to address traffic-related grievances of people. Parrikar expects tourism business in Kalangut to double.
कामा फुडें वचपाक पयशाचो आडखळ उरचो ना इतली गॅरंटी दिता आनी बरें बसपाक टुरिस्टाक दिल्यार हांवें समजें जो बिजनेस आहा तो दोबरात जातलो बिजनेस दोबरात करूं येता तुमकांय फायदो गोंयकारांकूय फायदो स्टेटीकूय फायदो.
Kalangut and Baga will have 2 parking slots by December.
ये ट्रॅफिक सेल जे आयज इनॉग्रेशन जाला इट विल ईज ट्रॅफिक and it will give some traffic sense to all the people from Kalangut and elsewhere. All over India and international, traffic rules are very important and they have to be followed. जो तर आमी फॉलो करिना जाल्यार आख्खे ट्रॅफिक जॅम जाता. सो माझे रिक्वेस्ट आसा सगळे पब्लिकेक की तेणी आमकां कोऑपरेट करून ट्रॅफिक सेलाक आमकां कलंगुटान आदार दिवचो.
Reporter Shyam Sundar Fatte for Prudent.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned.